places, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. The tears are filling up.
Every 2 minutes, someone, somewhere in America is sexually assaulted. That's 720 people a day. That's 262,800 people a year. And of those, only 107,748 report it. Which means 59% of all sexual assaults go unreported. Only 6% of perpetrators spend any time in jail. People who are sexually assaulted are 13 times more likely to abuse alcohol, 27 times more likely to abuse drugs, 6 times more likely to suffer from PTSD, and 4 times more likely to contemplate suicide. 1 in 6 women are sexually assaulted. 1 in 33 men are sexually assaulted. 2/3 of all sexual assaults are done by people known to the victims. 44% of rape victims are under the age of 18. 80% are under 30 years old. If we increase the number of reported sexual assaults by 1%, that's over 1,000 people who are coming forward. And 64 more perpetrators behind bars. Imagine if we raised that percentage by 10%.
I get very upset when I hear these statistics, and it reminds me of all the troubles I went through when I was first sexually assaulted. I was 6, and it happened 2 more times after that. I've been in therapy ever since, and I always believed it was my fault. No matter how hard my therapist, tried to convince me that it wasn't, I didn't believe him. So until recently, I went around with the belief that it was my fault, and it took me going through the trauma step by step in order to see how I was used and manipulated. And now I see that it wasn't my fault and how I was the victim. But I'm not anymore. And if I ever start to think, if I ever get flashbacks or anything and I start to think, man, that was my fault, I think to myself, if it was my fault, why am I so mad at him?